everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Break Podcast. I am your host, Melisa.
And I'm your co-host, Elisa. Hello, everyone. And our amazing guest, Dalton, is back with us.
Hi.
Yay!
Woo.
He's partly a family now with the Coffee Break podcast. I feel like he's just a regular, just like at a coffee shop.
Aw, I've been adopted.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you told him he was adopted?
It's your idea.
I mean, what the perspective? Oh no, this is gonna be a weird conversation to have. Well, just kidding. For those of you who are joining us and you're wondering what the heck is happening and why we're talking about adopting Dalton, and you're wondering what is this Coffee Break podcast? Well, let me tell you what this podcast is all about. We're those three friends who finally get together for a nice cup of coffee. Actually, I'm drinking some right now because it was a very tiring day and I need some energy for the podcast. Or if you're drinking water or whatever makes you feel relaxed after a long, stressful week of work, since everything's opening again, we indulge in convos of entertainment, environmental news, and current events. And sometimes we even get to discuss our hobbies because, everyone needs to vent a little bit here and there, talk about themselves when others don't listen. You know what I mean. We also do a coffee of the day segment where we select one type of coffee or tea and give you fun facts or recipes to make them. So let's get a brewing. Okay, so this is a different coffee. We talked about something similar to this. This is from Sweden, and it's
Oh.
called a Scandinavian Egg Coffee.
Oh, okay.
I know, right? And I love
Another
it.
egg coffee.
Yeah, yeah, I love egg. So
I never thought I would actually like it, but it's actually really good.
it is really good. It's really, really I don't know, the flavors just like match together because like egg is this very savory and like not bland, but it has its own like mellow taste. And with
Yeah.
coffee, it kind of brightens up each other.
Yeah.
So we talked about this with the was it the Thai egg coffee?
I think so. Something like that. That
Yeah,
sounds.
where it was like they would mix the eggs, or no, they would put an egg in your coffee. I don't 100% remember that one.
I can't remember. We've done
Yeah,
so many now.
we done 64 to be exact.
There we go.
Yeah, so isn't that crazy? 64 copies. Anyway, so the Scandinavian egg coffee. Dalton, have you ever heard of this?
Never before in my life until just now.
Have you ever heard of any egg coffee?
No.
Well, I'm gonna educate you in some egg coffee. So you're all wondering, how the heck do you make the Scandinavian egg coffee? Well, let me tell you, you're gonna need one raw egg. You're gonna need some ground coffee, some boiling water for your coffee, and what is that? 300 milliliters of cold water. I hate when instructions give me milliliters sometimes. Ah, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix your egg with only 200 milliliters of cold water, plus your coffee grounds in a bowl until smooth. Oh, kind of like the instant coffee, but it's not instant. Add the mixture to a boiling water in a pot and simmer for 3 to 5 minutes. Add 100 grams of grams. Is that Is that different from milk? Okay. Anyway, add 100 grams of cold water and let it settle for 2 whole minutes. Skim off any visible coffee particles, like the coffee beans you get from the coffee grounds you get on the bottom of your coffee. Yeah, it will rise, and you're gonna have to scoop those out. And then once it's done, you're going to strain it through a fine mesh sieve. It's a strainer, and into a cup. And what you're going to start seeing is that the froth of the egg is going to start rising to the top. And you're going to get that dual level of like layers of the foam, the eggy foam, and the coffee in the bottom. But the coffee in the bottom is still gonna have that egg taste, even though it's all in the foam.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our Scandinavian egg coffee,
Neat.
right? You actually make it with the coffee this time. You don't just add on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know about that one now.
You don't know about that
That's
one.
a little too egg.
I don't know, man. I'm down for it, but I love eggs, so we're gonna have to try to make it. Um, remember when Starbucks had the one that was with Ariana Grande? They had the cold foam or the cloud.
Oh
And,
yeah.
yeah, and she was saying it was like for vegans, but then they found out that it had eggs in it.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
So
Like a full candle thing.
yeah. Oh, my friend's vegan and she like got the drink and then she's like, this tastes like it has eggs. And I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, you're the egg expert. Try it. And then I was like, oh yeah, it does have eggs in it.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh, because I've had egg lattes before and I was like, this tastes like eggs.
That's kind of trolly.
I know, like, who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool here, huh, Ariana? Come on. It's like for no vegan, unless it's a vegan egg, but it would not taste like this.
I've never tried vegan eggs, but they do sell them.
They do. It's actually really good.
Comes in a carton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the square blocks, which it doesn't sound appealing, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, that's our coffee of the day. So go try out some nice egg coffee. Get some egg coffee.
Coffee.
Some coffee.
I know Dalton's really good with voices, so
Ah, stop.
no. Okay. So, Dalton, what is our topic for today?
Today we're talking about The Last of Us.
Woo woo! I wonder
Woo.
how many of y'all got the new game that just came out, ready for some heartbreaks.
Right.
Yeah. So, oh, we should probably tell everyone this is a spoiler for those
Yes.
of you who have not played any of the games
Mhm.
and would like to experience it. You may skip this week, but once you play it, you are obligated to come back and listen to this. I'm kidding.
You have to. No, just kidding.
You have to. Or the Last of Us ghost will come find you and be like, why did you not check this out?
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, like Dalton says, we're going to be discussing about The Last of Us. So, spoiler alert, you have been warned. You cannot turn back now. So, we'll be talking about the first game, and then we'll talk a little bit about the second one, because me and Dalton has not finished the game. Right, Dalton?
Have you
I'm
finished the
like,
first one?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
like 17 hours into the second one. Um, I, I don't know how much longer I have. It says that the average playtime for it is like 20, um, it's like 22 hours or something like that was the average. So still looks like I've got a ways to go because I go really slow. I crouch walk everywhere and search every nook and cranny for every possible anything. So,
That makes sense,
yeah.
though. Those clickers are really scary.
Oh man, those things are the worst. It's
They
it's
are.
like it's like 80% psychological because they're not that hard to sneak up on, but just that
Yeah.
noise that they make, like,
Yeah.
yeah. You go from 100% confident, like, all right, I got this. Just gonna stab this guy, then I'm gonna get this guy, and then they make that like, "Ah!" And it's like, okay, I, I'm going back into my safe little corner.
Don't move. I can't leave. This is my safe corner. I remember in the first game when you're playing as Joel and you're with Tess and you just got Ellie and you have to go in the underground subway.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like
yeah.
where those clickers are and like one random
Yeah.
runner in the corner.
Is this like when you
but
get separated?
not separated. You're still together in it. It's like I don't remember which part exactly. It was before they found out that Ellie was immune.
Mhm.
Okay.
But they had to deliver her, and they went through a
Yeah.
subway station, I think, and that's when you really get to meet the clickers.
Yeah.
Um, at
Yeah.
first I was
That was
scared.
scary.
Yeah, that was scary. I was like, okay, I'm scared. I was playing with a friend, but after dying 4 times, it was just pure rage of just like I don't care anymore, and I was like, y'all gonna die today. That took me a while because I just started getting like this like those types of games, and I was like, this is the worst thing in the world now.
Do you go full stealth or do you like just go out running out there sometimes?
I feel I don't feel like I'm really a stealthy person. I get too impatient. Like kudos to you, Dalton, to be like, let me crouch everywhere. Like I've been crouching for like a few minutes in the second game and I'm already annoyed. I'd rather just like go full on and just have them
Faster
shoot
though.
at me or come after me and I'm just like I like to do things where I'm just like I'm gonna hide in this corner, I'm gonna lose them in this corner. And I do, or I don't. Yeah, that's what I do. What about you, Dalton?
Um, it's like a hybrid of the two. I try to stealth as much as I can, but it inevitably always goes wrong somehow, some way, and then I just have to shoot my way out of like the last half of it. Um, but I agree with you that there is something really liberating. Like just the other day, I was sneaking through, and I just cleared out one section of dudes, and then you go up a level, and then there's more dudes, and it's like, come on, man. And
Yeah.
I was just trying to like I'm just gonna sneak past all of them. I'm not gonna clear them all out because I doubt there's anything to pick up here, and you rarely loot things off their bodies. So like I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna prone. I'm gonna like just sneak my way through as fast as possible. And then there was a dog on my left and a dude with a rifle on my right, and they spotted me, and I was like, you know what? Just fine, fine. Everybody's dying. Fine. There was
Everyone's
something kind
gonna
of
die today.
yeah.
You made this choice, not me. You did.
You chose this. Yeah.
Wait, there's dogs in the second game?
Yes, there are doggos, and it's an interesting little wrinkle because um,
I
it'll
don't
be
want
it'll be a dude. You can sneak past him.
to. Okay.
It's totally possible. It'll be a dude patrolling with the dog, and if the dog passes like close to you or close to somewhere where you've been, it'll pick up on your scent, and then it'll start to follow your scent
Oh.
trail back to your current location. So you need to like
No.
start going like through obstacles, and like you can sneak through like crevices or go under cars or something like that. You need to do that to
Whoa.
throw off the trail, and eventually they'll lose focus and they'll lose you.
I'm already stressed.
Whoa.
I'm literally like crunched over right now. I'm stressed. Like this is a game, I understand, but I'm so stressed now.
It's a very stressful game.
Cause yeah, that's the thing. I want to continue playing it because like I actually been pretty good with the runners. Cause when you're playing, again, spoiler, when you're playing in the new game and you're playing the girl with the braid hair, I
Abby.
don't know what her name is. What's her name?
Abby.
Abby?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what I expected. But I kind of hate this person more now. No, I'm kidding. Um, she
Mean.
I am. When I first saw her, I was like, I thought it was Ellie, and I was like, what's wrong with your face, Ellie? And then, and then I saw it was not Ellie, and because
I
I
will
thought,
admit that first
yeah,
half of the game, it did get a little bit confusing, like with how they cut like the cutscenes worked. Like it kind of did make it a little bit confusing. I don't know. That's just probably me. It just the cuts for the
hmm
scenes were very strange in a
no,
way.
yeah, it
Or
did.
at least that's for me. For me, it
hmm
seemed a little bit strange. But that's because I also never seen the first one. So.
Oh yeah, I thought no, I thought you did see the first one.
Yeah, I did now, but
Oh, okay.
before like I had no context, so I didn't know what was going on. So
Oh.
I got really confused when because I started watching uh, PewDiePie play it, the second one, and I was just like, okay, I want to just like check it out, and I was confused right away. So after that, I was like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna go and watch the first one, and I'm gonna watch someone that's kind of serious, like because PewDiePie, kudos to him and everything, but he's not as serious when it comes to like some of the um like some games that he plays.
Mhm.
He's a little too goofy sometimes, and you don't get the full effect of the game and the story. Um, and so I wanted to watch someone more serious, like with the the story. So
Mhm.
I did try Markiplier, but honestly, Markiplier is getting too loud for me, and because he gets really mad.
Yeah, he does.
Oh
Like,
no, and the one thing that is really frustrating is that he does miss really obvious things on the map. And then when he realizes that it was like right in front of him, he like rages for like literally like 10 minutes of
yeah.
rage. And I'm just like, okay, let's continue the story, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, can we continue? No? All right.
But yeah,
Yeah. He
so
kind of gets like a
I didn't get to finish, but I'm so far it's very interesting. I really like the story. I do eventually want to play it, but maybe if they do put it on PC or something. Have they already? I didn't even.
Not yet.
uh
Okay.
not yeah. They
Oh,
haven't,
That
but
would be a big get.
they should.
they are planning on it. But they don't know when they're going to announce it yet because there's still bugs running it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like even when Markiplier was playing it, some of the bugs are pretty obvious. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, you don't pay attention to it when you're really immersed.
Yeah, unless like you're really immersed into it. And I had a part where in the first one where you're with Ellie, like it's
Yeah.
just Joel and Ellie, and it's like I think it's in a hotel. Honestly, it's like next to the city hall. You go into this building,
Mhm.
and it was like very tough for me because like every single time I turned a corner, there was an enemy, and I tried to sneak. But no, he's like, I found you. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm literally crouching. What do you mean you found me? And there was the part where I was really into it. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And this one person was like, yeah, I found you. And I was like, what? He went through the wall and punched me. And I got really offended because I was like, if he can do that, why can I do that?
Yeah, the AI in the game are very like on it.
Yeah, they are. They're like, oh, I get you. I'm gonna make sure this is hard for you. And I'm just like, I'm on the normal setting, like this is normal difficulty. How come you guys can still see me? It frustrates me.
That first game, I think, has got some smoke and mirrors to it where, because I had the same experience where it's like, all right, I'm being stealthy. You don't know where I am. I'm being 100%. I'm doing great. But because the game gives you listen mode, you can like X-ray through the walls. You can see
Yeah.
enemy like positions. All of their
Yeah.
dialogue is like, where is he? Spread out and find him. But I can see with listen mode that they're all beelining it directly to me.
Yeah.
So I think that there's some parts where the game is trying to make it seem like you're being discovered like organically, but really the game knows exactly, it's cheating. It knows exactly where you
Yeah.
are. And so there was a couple of parts where I had that happen to me where like they just know in spite of my best efforts because I think the game just wants it to be action shoot 'em up
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that section. Yeah.
Oh, what are your thoughts on the aiming and like the gun gameplay of it all, like the mechanics for like the weapons and stuff in the game? Because I honestly, when I saw it looks pretty easy, but at the same time, it actually looks kind of wonky, like some of the shooting and aiming for the game. I don't know.
It's I for any other game, I would be incredibly frustrated with how wonky the aiming is, but I think with the tone that they're trying to set with this game,
Hmm.
I think it works. Um,
Okay.
and there are upgrades you can invest in to make your stability probably more what you would expect from a third-person shooter.
Hmm.
But it definitely makes the early game really intense when you've got 6 bullets to this gun
Yeah.
and your aim is kind of all over the place and you've got this
Yeah.
infected just bearing down on you and you're just trying to land like any shot, not just a
Yep.
crisp headshot. It's just like any of these bullets will do, please.
Just
Because
please do
I
some damage.
noticed that a lot in the Let's Play. It was it,
Yeah.
it looks really hard. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, it is. I'm not really good at PS4 shooting. I am good on the computer, but I mean, in the second one I'm doing pretty decent, but in the first one I was very wonky also because I'm like, oh, 8 bullets, only 3 of you guys. I can do this, and then I'm missing, and I'm like, okay, no, I can't do this. Oh God, I don't have any arrows.
Yeah, like even like some of the sniping parts, it's just really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a part where you have to snipe a bunch while your friends and Ellie are like
Oh,
trying
that
to
part.
get through
Mhm.
houses. Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, I actually have to do this. And you're like trying to get all the infected people, and you're like twitching, but it's not you, it's the game.
God, they got.
Yeah.
I saw that fail state so many times for that segment. They got burnt to a crisp by so many Molotovs. It was really disheartening.
It was very disheartening. I'm like, oh, my friends got ran over twice, and they got burned by Molotovs, and I think I shot one. Okay. I mean, you can't do friendly fire, but still, very intense moment. What
Yeah.
from the first game? What are the in the story, like story wise? What is the most like intense you felt, or like most emotional you felt throughout the entire game?
Ooh, that's a good. I'm gonna have to think for a little bit on that one. Um,
What about you, Melissa?
Well, I still haven't finished it, remember, but so far, um, like the argument that Joel and Ellie had, um, like just before they were leaving the brother,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that part, like about them separating, and that like she felt like he just wanted to get rid of her, like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sad. I can't. Don't argue.
Please, let's go
Stop
back together.
fighting.
You
Mom,
guys
Dad,
just have to
stop.
find some common ground.
Like, Joel, I know you're broken.
Yeah,
Like, get over it.
like yeah,
Poor Joel.
yeah. I
That,
mean, of course, like he's been through so much. It makes
uh,
sense.
yeah.
Like
Like,
his backstory is so tragic.
what happened to the wife? Did she just leave him with Ellie,
I
or
I mean, I
girlfriend
think
or
it's
whatever?
one of those stories of like divorced parents or
Sucks for him.
um
No.
because that's what it seemed like.
Oh,
Because it I don't know, like they didn't really make it very obvious
no.
about what happened to the mom, um, Joel's ex-wife or wife, whatever. Yeah,
I need to know
but
that. Yeah. Did you figure out which one for you, Dalton?
Um, Story-wise, all I can think of the most that stands out to me is just the ending, and I don't want to get into the ending necessarily since Melissa hasn't seen it yet, but
yeah,
just it's very thought-provoking, I think, after the fact more so than anything, because
mhm,
we play the whole game for the most part through Joel's perspective.
Yeah.
Uh, so I felt 100% justified in his slash my actions. I had never questioned it at all. Um, but then,
Mm-mm.
like after I beat the game, I went, "Oh yeah, that was so good." and then reading like online people's reactions, like, is Joel the villain? Da, da, da. I was like, I didn't get that at all. And then reflecting on all of the not so good stuff that you do throughout the game in the name of protecting Ellie, I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know, just that kind of like
Oh.
retrospective, like
Mhm.
looking inward of like, am I
No.
a bad person for not having a problem doing all that stuff?
Well, in their world, it's kind of different because like you do meet a city full of anarchists who just literally go around killing whoever they want, burning people, taking stuff from other survivors, or trying to, like what they did with Joel and them, by pretending they needed help, and Joel was like, nah, he doesn't need help. And it was true, the guy was just lying when he was like driving by this one person. So this like this group, and to me, I'm like, I mean, the world that they live in, as long as you're not them, that's fine.
Like I would say the same, that just the pure fact that their world is so different and almost like at its basic roots still really tribal in a sense, that our moral codes change when it is eat or be eaten at that point.
Mhm.
So like I don't know too much of the story just yet, but that's what I'm getting from what I've already seen. Like people are still tribal. They're still like in small groups and building small communities from all of different places. Like people are becoming nomadic. People are like just trying to survive, and so like people's instincts kind of just kick in of like
Yeah.
survival mode. So whether things are right and wrong can very much be different considering their circumstance.
That's fair.
Yep. Because I mean, yeah, there with what she was saying, I 100% agree. And Melissa put it in a way. I'm so glad you said it like that, because I had no idea how to explain it. So Melissa did a great job on that. I give you a round of applause.
That's just what I get from, like, that's what I like in video games. Like
Yeah.
just being that really much very much determines my like my decision making in video games is just trying to put myself in that kind of position, just like
Yeah.
thinking differently. Like, okay, yeah, like I'm in the wasteland, or you know,
Yeah.
it's definitely
It's
eat or be
different.
eaten. Yeah, people
Yeah.
are tried. There's slavery. Like what?
Yeah. You're like, what is happening? Yeah. So, I mean, like, yeah, I do agree with you about the ending. It's kind of just like, I get it. You know what I mean? But you also in that ethics class too about it. I don't want to say anything too much. And I was like running ethics in my head when I was playing through the ending. Like, should I? Is the villain? Did he do a selfish thing? I don't know anymore. So yeah, now that always had like a question in my head,
Mhm.
because it's just like, yeah, how do you justify anything, especially in a world that's completely different
Yeah,
than ours, where we have construct, I guess, compared to theirs, where they're like, there is no government.
yeah. Like the
You-
military is like killing other people like for no reason. Like in
yeah,
the very beginning, they were getting orders just to like kill random people. Like why?
yeah, it's like they're not infected.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. It's kind of like Resident Evil, when they were like, bomb the city, but their survivors bomb the city.
Although when I first started watching the first one, it kind of hit really close to home just with our current circumstances. I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're having some riots. We're trying to, change things, and then we've got this pandemic going on. This sounds really familiar."
Yeah. You're like, this is close for comfort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really close. But again, that's just one of those crazy things. How like, uh, Like I think that's what's great about this game too. It's just like how realistic it can be. Like even though it's like not zombies. Um, Pandemics are like real, and they can get to such an extent where like humanity's changed.
Yeah,
Or,
especially when. Oh, sorry.
no, no, go for it.
Oh, I was saying, especially when, certain, researchers or people who are working on this like plague or whatever it
Yeah.
is, are influenced by money and
Hmm.
selfishness to the point where it's like that's what they're blinded by, and they focus on that. And even though it does tell you in the beginning like exactly what happens, like it was the fireflies that did it. In my head, I just see some selfish, like not laboratory, scientist just saying like, I want to make some extra money, so I tried selling it, but then it broke, and I ran off and I hid in my bunker. I don't know. I just feel like some idiot was just like, I wanted money, which a lot of things in our country is run by money, which is stupid. But forget morals. Anyway, um, yeah. What What? Well, I forgot my question now because I went on that rant. Um, what do you think of the second game, Dalton? Without giving too much spoilers for Melissa.
I will avoid. Well, I'll avoid spoilers for both of you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, you're playing.
um, the it's granted. So it's been what 7 years since I played the first one. I played it when it first came out, and that
Oh
was
my
it
God, has it been
because
7 years?
yeah,
Yes.
it was June 2013.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a long time.
And Joel still
So
looks. No.
no, yeah, he looks fan. I hope that I look as good as Joel looks in like 5 years. Like
Right?
I
he's supposed to be pushing 50, I think.
I think
Jeez.
so. I'm like,
Um,
dang, bro.
the gameplay feels a lot more fluid than I remember it being, which might have just been a change because now you're playing as Ellie. She's smaller and she's not this brawler like Joel was, so she's got to be a little bit lighter on her feet. You can dodge moves now. You can
Yeah, I'm not used to
break,
it.
yeah. You can like break conflict and run and like round a corner, lose line of sight, and then go back into stealth after like things have gone loud. Um, Whereas the first game, I really remember Joel being much more of just brute force. He's a brawler. You know, if somebody comes at him, you can probably just tank the hit and just run up to him and stab him. And if things go loud, it's like, well, they're just loud, and now I will move on once everyone is dead and the shooting stops.
Mhm.
Um,
What's everyone is that?
so I feel like those are good improvements on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it feels very familiar in a good way. It I don't know. It's been 7 years, but it feels like I don't know, it's like riding a bike. I guess I kind of fell back into playing it pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, it's difficult to so there's a moment that happens early in the game that you still haven't gotten to there, Elisa.
Dang it.
Um, so I will use the same language that like Naughty Dog has used in talking about the game because they did a good job of not spoiling anything. Um,
Hmm.
a a moment happens that drives the rest of the game, and that's Ellie's reason for traveling from their settlement in Jackson to Seattle.
Hmm.
And they've talked about how this game, the theme of this game is hate, and
Hmm.
I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to see that where like as you talked about, Melissa, like some of the violence in this game is in this story is a necessity of the world that they're in. That like it's really kill or be killed sometimes. But I feel like Ellie is starting to kind of dip into uh, a bit sadistic, where like now instead of just like you stab somebody and that's it, now it's like you stab them and you're like, effer, or like they'll say like
Oh
she
Okay.
no.
starts
So
starts kind of
it's
muttering like things under her breath. Yeah.
it's like
So
shifting. She's turning a little dark. It's like getting a little darker. Like
yeah,
the
Yeah.
mood is getting darker.
yeah, she's kind of not quite relishing the violence, but like
Mm,
it's getting more personal, and she's kind of making it more personal, which is
mm.
interesting to see this character that was so
Innocent.
yeah innocent in the first one. I mean, granted, she cursed up a storm in the first one as well, but like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
she wasn't this sadistic. Um,
Okay,
so it's been interesting seeing that transition happen.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting cuz I'm also going to be honest, her character character-wise, like trait, um she's so awkward. Like I I don't know what it is, but like, and I'm not hitting on people who like are awkward and you know what I mean? But I didn't expect that from her because like the whole beginning she's just like very awkward with Joel because she's not dumb. She knows what happened.
Yeah.
Um but she like I don't know, it's just like it's weird cuz like she's just very awkward talking to everyone and anyone. And I'm just like, man, you used to be smooth. You used to do all these puns and everything and be funny. But then I also remember she's going through her teenage phases. Like
That's
she's
true.
just
Yeah.
finishing it out where she's like, what am I exactly? Because they still go through that even in a world like that where they're just like, what am I? Like,
Right. Puberty
who am
still
I?
takes into account.
Yep, I know, right? And I was like, oh no, she's a teenager. I was like, ah. And it was like, oh my gosh, is this what I have to deal with the whole game? Okay, I'm gonna get used to it. So I mean, like that's one of the things was just like that bothered me was just like the way she kept talking. It was never like a yeah, let's do this. It was more like, yeah, yeah, that sounds nice. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, this is it.
Out.
She what?
She mellowed out,
Yeah,
basically, kind of.
for a
Like
bit.
that's how I got. Like just from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like her personality is a little bit more like peppy or like at least slightly bubbly considering, where they're at and their situation, but she still
Yeah.
kind of has like this slight optimism about her. And then
Mm-hmm.
apparent like in the second one, it seems like that's kind of like faded out. Like her optimism has gone away a little bit. That's kind of like what I got from the beginning part,
Mm-hmm.
second one. Like something happened, and I don't
Yeah.
know. Obviously, I don't know what it is
Yeah.
that made her like kind of like turn into that. Her optimism kind of dwindling and going away. Because she seems a little more
Yeah.
somber for sure.
Yeah, she does, which I'm just like, oh, okay.
But
I see it.
again,
I see it.
I obviously am missing parts of the story, so
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting to see what happens. um, yeah. I just trying to accept her new character traits. So
what are your thoughts on the new character? I know, I know Elisa's thoughts.
her
Oh,
face.
the second playable character,
Yeah,
Abby.
yeah.
So it's difficult to talk about stuff that I know.
Right.
It's
um,
okay
I do
because
feel
be
like
honest,
she's kind of a badass. Not gonna lie.
she no, she is. But us that you know.
uh, sh-
Con-
sh-
Continue.
sh- yeah, she's definitely she gets some really action-packed moments in the prologue, um, which I think like I started kind of guessing as to what was going to happen in that prologue, and I was mostly right. So I thought it was really interesting that some of her gameplay sections in the beginning there, it's a lot of tutorial. It's a lot of like,
Oh yeah.
press circle to crouch under the log and
Yeah,
stuff
Oh
like
my
yeah.
that.
gosh.
And they utilized her segments to like demonstrate the more like high profile actiony stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a section where she's booking it and you just have to run like crazy. And I thought that was an interesting touch to be like, hey, don't think about while we're making you play as this character. Just run for your life.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know how to feel about that character yet. It's interesting. I've got the steelbook of the game in front of me, and she is actually on one of the sides of the case. Like one side is a portrait of Ellie, and the other side is a portrait of Abby. I thought that was an interesting choice.
Mm,
So I'm assuming she's going to factor in
more.
more as the game goes on. I don't know how to feel about that character yet, and
Or
if
maybe there's gonna be a crossroads, or like, who knows? That'd be
uh-huh.
crazy.
Yeah, I already have an interesting feeling in the next playthrough, which I'm just like, fantastic. I think I'm just gonna cry.
We're gonna need to do a follow-up episode at once everyone has like played or watched everything.
Right?
Yes, we have to just be like your thoughts on everything, and I think we're just gonna be like, make sure you have a box of tissues or something to punch. It's one of those two. So
Maybe both.
maybe both, because
Yeah.
some people like to cry when they're angry because they can't punch everyone to
Yeah.
death. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, that happened. I went there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm at the same time like just nervous to play it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So we'll see how it
I get
goes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gotten like that too. Like when I was first starting Assassin's Creed, I actually got nervous. I'm like, oh, is this gonna be like the same or?
You're like, oh God, is this okay? Is this happening? Oh God. Yeah, I'm nervous.
Nervous.
Nervous. Um, I do see a lot of people also like it's only been like what, a few days since the game came out, and I already see so many people like
Reviewing
posting
it.
art on like well they're sketches of Ellie, and it's like some
Oh,
spoilers in the game, so I had to stop going on my like
yeah.
I'll on my art Instagram, but I cannot scroll through anymore. So I'm just like, oh, I had
I
one
bet.
spoiler, and I was like, okay, I'm done. So yeah, let's see how that goes. I am probably gonna play some tonight just so I can be like, okay, we need to move on with this fear and anxiety that we have over video games.
Yeah, you need to push past it, Elisa, and just get to it.
Don't tell me to do. Just kidding. Fine, I will. What other topics should we talk about on The Last of Us?
Um, you asked us about our favorite story moments. Do you have a favorite gameplay moment playing through the first one?
Oh, gameplay. When you get the first bow and arrow,
Wow, nice.
because I use that 80% of the time. Like, that would help me with my stealth because, like, I would just use the arrow to headshot everyone.
It's so satisfying, right? Just that, like,
We sound like maniacs. Yeah, I'm like, poop, headshot, yay. Go to the next one, boom, headshot, yay.
I like quietly murder from a distance.
Mhm. I love it when the AI is like, "Oh God, he's dead. Where are you?" And they go the opposite direction of where
Yeah,
like the arrow came
Yeah.
from, and I'm just like, "You're broken." All right.
that would be awesome if they could like look at like the, the where he fell and where the arrow placement is and be like, it must come from over there. That'd be really cool if they could do
Oh
that.
yeah.
That'd be so, we all would be so bad then. We'll all be like, "Oh God, we gotta move. We gotta move." Just like the no, I don't want to spoil. Never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but nah, 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 nah. Never mind. But yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite part where you just get the bow and arrow and just the feeling of like I can now get you from a distance without a gunfire noise happening.
Yeah, I bet it's super helpful.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's so helpful. It's so helpful. What about you, Dalton?
Uh, for me, two things stand out. One was, and I think maybe Melissa's seen this part, the hotel basement, the flooded basement.
Yes. Oh,
Uh,
I've seen him. Sorry, Melissa.
No, I have.
Okay.
that's the moment in the game that made me switch from normal difficulty to easy mode because you can only get your face ripped off of your skull so many times before you're like, you know what, I'm good. That's enough for me, thanks. Um, it was that big fat guy. Just he kept like there was just too many, and I was trying to run to that door, and they would all crowd around me, and I trying to wade my way through them, and then meanwhile, just the big fatty is just walking up, and once he gets you, then that's it, insta kill, you're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was I remember that being a real like make or break moment for me with this game.
I noticed that like the saving and versus like the the time when you spawn if you die, it's not the same. I think that that was a mistake.
Oh yeah. It's not like a hard like save like in like a
No.
Bethesda game. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Hmm.
that would probably be the most frustrating thing is having to like progress pretty far and then just randomly die and then you have to start all over. Like that
Yeah.
that would be so aggravating.
Yeah. I'm getting triggered, but yeah. And not just for that game, for every game where I'm just like, man, what kind of saving system is this? Who decided to make this mechanic? You need help. Yeah, I remember that. I hated those. Oh, yeah, I'm triggered. Oh my god. But the new one, the second one's pretty good with the savings. So
I didn't
yeah.
realize you could actually save. I was like 7 hours in, and I finally saw that you can like pause, like save game. I was like, oh come on,
Oh.
because there's so many times where like I just got done playing Dead Space 3, and in that series, there's a button specifically to tell you it'll navigate you like where you're supposed to go, which is super helpful for me because then I know to go in the opposite direction of that to like search and
Save.
look for stuff because
Yeah.
if you ever come to like a fork in the road and you can go left or right, I don't know which one is going to like go into a cutscene and then I can't backtrack. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's been a lot of moments playing the second one where like I figured that pressing triangle at this door, I'm gonna try it and like open it or find that it's locked, but then that triggers a cutscene and then you rush through and then you put like
Yeah.
a locker in front of it and you're like, I didn't search that room all the way yet. Dang
Yes.
it. There's probably like rags and alcohol that I could have used to make another health kit in there.
Potential is gone now.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like that would be so frustrating.
Yeah, no, that is frustrating. I feel the triggerness and the frustration through the mic. Yeah, that's one thing when they were like, "Oh, you need to check all this area," and you do, but then you accidentally go into the cutscene section box, and you're like, "No, no, no."
You can't go back.
That's why sometimes I hate like. That's why I don't like a lot of open world games because I feel like it's just so much, and I'm just like, I need to get everything done. It creates more stress, and I'm here to play a game that's not stressful. So, where's that game? Just kidding. Yeah. I 100% agree with you. When you see all those stuff and then it blocks your entrance and you're like, oh,
Mm.
okay. Near death. I see a health kit. All right.
The Shiv accessible doors.
Oh
They-
gosh.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad that's not in the second game and I'm so thankful for it.
Thank goodness, because
That was
I
the
can't.
worst. Because
I
then
bet.
you have to debate in your head like, all right, am I gonna need this to shiv a clicker later or
Yeah.
like is there gonna be anything worthwhile behind this door? I hated that.
When you're like, you use it on the door and then you walk in and there's 10 clickers and you're like, wait.
And your reward is more clickers.
You're like, what? I didn't sign up for this. That's not what I wanted. Crap.
And they like
Yeah.
didn't show up on your listen mode either. That's something that bugs me. If you give me
Oh my god,
a
yeah.
gameplay like element that allows me to hear through walls and like check a door before I go in, be like, all right, is there anyone behind here? Okay, looks clear. I'm gonna open it up, and then sure enough, like something immediately is like pouncing on you. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You're breaking your own rules, game.
I know. Backtrack. Why did you do this game? This is unfair. I demand a rematch. I don't agree with this at all. This is bullcrap. Ah, but yeah, we do need to come back after we finish the games and Melissa sees everything and stuff like that, and um it's gonna be fun. We have to reevaluate and be like, what? How do we think of it? Crying, anger, hate, joy,
Emotional support
everything.
group.
Emotional support group.
Yeah.
Aw, that episode will be for all those who were so sad about the endings or about just stuff in general.
Mhm.
Yes, we have to do that.
We'll get through it together.
We will get through it together. I just have to do it. I'm gonna do that tonight. I am gonna play. I'm like, I made aside time to play.
I,
So
I think it'll be worthwhile because once you've gotten past the prologue, then the game
uh,
starts to open up, and I think that you will find less anxiety about continuing forward.
okay, I'm gonna trust you. And if it hurts, it breaks my heart, I'm
I
coming
mean,
for you.
no guarantees.
No, 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 you can't take it back. I'm gonna
Okay.
come for you. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I gotta get my
You
heart
know
ready for
that's
it.
something he cannot guarantee in this game.
I know. No one can guarantee anyone's
Oh
emotional
yeah.
safety.
Don't
Oh,
don't get attached to anybody.
too late. I'm
Oh
attached to everyone.
no.
I was attached to the background character that scratched his nose. So don't tell me what not to be attached to. No, I'm kidding. All right, but I think that's all for this episode until we get more in depth with the second game and all that jazz. So yeah, um, this is always brought to you by Elite 23 Shopping. If you want to look good, sir, in your survival mode or not, if you like to look like Joel, we'll figure that out. Um, just check out some Elite 23 Shopping. We have more designs on there from your artists here. And get code CBP for 30% off your whole purchase. CBP for 30% off your whole purchase. We do have new mermaid collections, some new yoga pants with pockets. Hopefully that gets your attention. Um, yeah, so leave23shopping.com. Use code CBP for 30% off your purchase. I just ordered my yoga pants with pockets because I have none. So I'm supporting myself. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yep, and if you like what we do here, please feel free to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more notifications. And don't forget to also follow our other social medias on Instagram. What was it?
Instagram, Facebook, Podbean, Spotify, and you mean like this Instagram, right?
Yeah, like all our social medias.
Oh yeah. There's entertainment, fashion, and our art pages too. If you would like to see some amazing art, especially from Melissa.
Oh, yes. I
She,
do the art.
she does the arts.
I do the art.
I do the art. Dalton do the art too, but he hasn't posted anything on his art yet.
I do art, but not necessarily the art. So
It's like I do art, not the art.
I
There's
doodle.
that's art.
That's art.
Look, I
Yeah,
told
I wouldn't
my
sell it on a t-shirt though.
you'd be surprised.
That's true. Well, yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Look, I told one of my 5-year-olds at my job, your art is amazing and I can see it on a water bottle. That's not mine, but it can be somewhere. So hey, he drew a picture for me and I hang it on my desk. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, he's a cute kid when he listens. Um, yeah. Thank you again, Dalton, for joining us and
Well,
sharing your opinions on The Last of Us.
thank you for having me. It's always fun to be on the show.
He's our regular now. It's official. He's always probably going to be in a majority of them. But he's a great sport for being here with us and dealing with our insanity.
Our rambles.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you in the next episode. Let us know what you think of the games. Bye.
Bye.